All right, we're live. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Chris, and this is my channel, Barn on 11970. And I wanted to give a little story about this cat. This is one of the stray cats that we've been taking care of outside. Her name is Sunshine. She was one of the first cats that came up to our door back in around October when we moved here in September here in Florida. We've definitely learned since then that there are a lot of stray cats around here because people just abandon them because there's not a lot of love in people's hearts and definitely not a lot of responsibility. Well, to tell the scenario of the story of why she's in the house right now, she's been here with a couple other stray cats. She basically lived under our house, and we already have three stray cats that we took in, so we just really couldn't afford or really had major room to help another cat that way. But we feed her three times a day, make sure there's plenty of water, pet her all the time, so she's not feral at all. She's definitely loved. You could see what good condition she's in because of her coat, because we don't even give her dry food, and that's one of the things I cannot stress enough. Your animals, do not feed them dry food. So we feed her nothing but wet food, and she's there. We feed them all. I go out every day, three times a day, and feeding her, and she's been there every day since. We've spent our own money getting her fixed, and she's been living life well. But then, about a week or so ago, I noticed that when I fed her food with the other cats, she would basically have to lie there and eat it. Now, I thought maybe it was the extreme heat because it's been like 90 degrees every day for the past 2.5, 3 weeks. Or I thought maybe we're just spoiling her too much and she's getting fat and lazy. So I didn't think anything of it. And then yesterday, all morning and all day, I couldn't find her. She didn't come to any meal. And that's not normal. That's never happened. So I kind of had a suspicion. And then this morning, again, I go to put the food out, call the cats. She doesn't come. Again, this now she hasn't eaten in 24 hours. Didn't come this morning. So now I'm getting concerned. Couldn't sleep last night. I actually had a couple of dreams about cats. I thought it was kind of funny, but I care about her just like I care about other animals. And I can only do so much being out of work for 4 months. I mean, I always find a way, so it's not about that. I mean, I have another channel that's a comic channel, and I am able to buy some comics. I mean, not $1 million books, but anyway. When I saw her this morning, she was across the street. Now, she usually doesn't stay across the street. She stays at my house. And she was laying on the ground, and she was meowing and looked like she could not move. So instantly when I saw her, I was really happy. First of all, to know that she wasn't hit by a car or not anything bad happened. And I brought food to her, in which she gobbled up because she didn't eat for at least 24 hours, if not more. And then I noticed she couldn't walk. Like she was trying to, but it looked like her back legs wouldn't work right. So I ended up taking her to the emergency vet where they wanted to do um, x-rays and stuff, but they said the x-rays would come out because it's an emergency vet. It would have taken $600 for the emergency vet, plus the hundred and some odd dollars just for the visit, and then on top of anything else. And as much as I want to help her, being out of work for 3.5, 4 months, with my wife paying all the bills, and our other cats, plus the other outside cats, is at least 5 or 6, actually up to 8 now, because one of the cats had 5 kittens, so we're going to spend our own money to get her fixed as well. But we're taking her to the vet tomorrow because, being a massage therapist, I was working on her hip and I could feel it kind of throbbing, and almost like if you felt electricity going through a wire. So she's trying to walk but can't. Her back legs are not working right. So I'm going to be taking her to the vet tomorrow, and we're going to see what happens with her. We named her Sunshine. She's a little scared right now and everything because she's never been indoors before, so she's calming down now. We're going to give her some CBD oil later to help her calm down, and I don't think there's any pain because the emergency room did say they checked her hind legs and they said that she is trying to walk, but they didn't experience any pain, so it doesn't seem like she got hit by a car or broke any bones, because they said she'd be in a lot of pain if that was in the case. But to me, as a massage therapist, it seems very neurological. Now, I don't mind the fact that my wife and my wife is going to be paying for most of it because she's the only one employed right now. I can't even get a job because they have this shutdown. And the flea market that I started my whole new career with is going out of business permanently. I don't mind helping, and that's what I want to do. But I just want people to see that, love is very important right now. And, this cat was born outside and is a stray. But we made sure we gave her love. She's been purring the whole time. And she always comes up to me every day. And as a matter of fact, before I go to bed, I would go outside at night and she would be right there waiting for me. And when it didn't happen yesterday, I got concerned and I trust my instincts and I knew there was something. So hopefully it won't be anything majorly serious. I'm praying that it won't be. But I just want to show people that, especially this day and age, we need more love. We need more kindness, more giving. And sometimes not even just to reap a reward or get a thank you, because, this cat is never going to thank us. She's never going to understand what's going on. Right now, she just knows that she's in an environment that she's not used to. And she's probably scared. So I want people to help. Now, one of the things you can do, I mean, obviously, if you want to join PayPal, my PayPal account, Patreon account, or anything, you can. I don't know if people know, and I'll show some of them, and I have a whole thing full of them. I make the orgone pyramids, and I do make them and I sell them, and I got a bunch in stock. And the good thing about Florida is I can make them all year round. So if anybody's interested in these, check the website. It's in the link in the description. I got the keychains. There's some mini pyramids and stuff in there. But if anything, that's what's been helping me be able to survive without being in work. Well, not having work for now going on 4 months and counting. So I want to show people that things can be done, and I love doing it. And yes, you can see she's trying to walk, but she has a problem with her hips. So we're going to take her tomorrow to find out what's going on. But I named her Sunshine because that's what she reminds me of. And we're going to make sure that she's going to be okay. And who knows, maybe she might become a permanent addition. I don't know yet because, like I said, we already have 3 cats and we take care of about 6 to 8 of them outside. But I just want to show that, we need love and we need kindness. Oh, sorry. And I want people to do something nice in this world. And, I don't owe this cat anything, but it's the right thing to do. And even though it's a monetary burden, because it's definitely going to put a lot of strain on my wife, considering she's paying all the bills, but I love her to death for helping me do this. But I don't know, it's just something about this. And it's funny because I just did on my other channel a whole motivational speech. And it's funny, I've noticed anytime I do a motivational speech, right afterwards, something bad happens. And I'm okay with that, because if it means that for some reason I'm not supposed to be giving out helpful stuff and somehow bad things happen after it, I'm okay with it, because it's happened like every time. And I feel bad for her. So yes, financially this is it's gonna put a little inconvenience, we'll say that. But some things are worth it, and we'll get through it no matter what. And like I said, with me selling these orgone pyramids that I make, and I'll show a little close. If anybody gets those and they're interested, it definitely helps fund our ability to help cats and be able to survive during these times. But obviously, no one has to do that. And Florence, kind of jinxing yourself. Don't even worry about it, because like I said, if even if that's the case, I don't mind. I can get through anything. That's why I'm not worried about this. And I knew when she was gone for that whole day and a half without eating at all, I knew something had to happen. So I trust my instincts. But like, if there's a price to pay for doing good, what I'm trying to say is basically I don't mind, and I'm willing to accept that if that's the case. I don't believe in the whole jinxing things, but I understand what you're saying. So she looks healthy. We gave her some flea medication. She's going to stay the night because we're definitely not going to let her go back outside. And I'm taking her to the vet tomorrow morning to take care of her. And I love her to death. But one of the things I noticed when I tried massaging her a little bit, I feel like right in here, it's like really vibrating, which means there's some kind of neurological situation. Now, I don't know if she ate something or somebody tried to poison her out there. I don't know. We're going to find out. But she's not throwing up or anything, and she seems, other than being scared of being in a new place, it seems like maybe there's just something not firing on all cylinders. And like I said, when I press, being a massage therapist, I can feel the vibration. So there's definitely a signal that's maybe not being sent right. So she struggles to walk, but she's definitely not in pain. So we're going to do our best. But basically, this video is just to try and show people that we need more love in this world. There's too much division, too much fear, too much hatred. And sometimes we need to just look out for somebody, even when things are not going great. Because trust me, I'm not a trust fund baby. My wife and I don't have millions of dollars in the bank account. Yeah, I buy some comics and everything, but that's because, like I said, I have these things to sell and I do what it takes to try and make things happen. Because um, Sister in Christ says could be a blood clot. We'll find out, but we're definitely going to do what we can. We couldn't do too much in the emergency room because, like I said, they want like double the price, and as much as we want to help, we can't go broke in the process. But I do know every time a situation arises, good always comes out of it. So, like I said, even if somebody can't do like a Patreon or something like that, which I understand, if you get any of those, you're basically just buying something you might have needed. I'll throw in something for free if you want. Just let me know if you do order. But that's how I've been able to stay alive. And that's why I always tell people no matter how bad things can get, as long as you apply yourself and you don't give up, you will always find a way. And I am going to make sure she's going to be okay because left out in the street, she would have probably starved to death because she can't really walk right. She couldn't come and get food even though she's been doing it 3 times a day, every day for almost a year now. And God forbid she got ran over by a car or she went to the wrong house where somebody doesn't like cats or animals or a raccoon got her or something. So at least she's safe now. And as you could see, she's definitely doing a lot better. And we're going to make sure we keep it going. So I just want to send the message of love and some positive energy saying that trust me, I know that things can look bleak. I know things can be down. And she's showing that, you know what, she might have a problem with her legs right now for whatever reason. We'll find out tomorrow. But she's not giving up. She's a fighter. And, you know, because we loved her and all the other kittens that were outside, uh, they aren't feral. We can hold them anytime. We can pet them. They actually know their names. I can call them and they'll come running. So it just shows what the power of love can actually do. So do something in your life that eliminates the fear and the doubt and the worrying about the future. Because I'm not sitting here saying we need to worry about the future of this because it's going to cost so much and it's going to burden us or whatever. We're not focused on that because we always know, and I definitely know, something will always come along, even if it's last second. And if you ever notice that in your life, that sometimes when everything is down and you think this is the end, all of a sudden something comes and it's just what you need, just enough. And I'm okay with that. So, like I said, if anybody wants to join my Patreon or anything like that, that's awesome. But I'm trying to say this as a message of love because I'm going to spend all day with this cat today. The other cats, I have to put her in one of my rooms. This is my comic book room. But the other cats won't like her because they're definitely not going to like a new cat in their territory. So I'm going to basically spend the day with her and making sure she's okay. But don't ever doubt yourself. Don't think things can not happen. And you get what you put out. So I want people to see this, that I'm going to be okay. She's going to be okay. I thank God for my wife because without her, a lot of this would not be possible, or at least, you know, not as easy, we'll put it that way. and just trust that everything will be okay. So I know things are scary right now. I know times are hard. I know this is probably the weirdest thing that's ever happened in any of our lives, but it doesn't mean it's the end unless you want it to be. So she looks like she wants to continue fighting, and I'm going to help her do that. So if you can do something kind in your life, whatever that is, don't hesitate. Even if it means you have to kind of take a step back. Because, like I was saying in the video that I made on my other channel right before this all happened, is think of your life like a bow and arrow. For the arrow to pull forward, you have to pull it back. So if you're not afraid to take a step back, you'll leap forward. But most people spend their life right in that safe zone where they think everything's just enough to be okay, but they're not happy because they're afraid to take that step back, not realizing that that's what it takes to propel yourself forward. So she's a fighter, we're fighters, and I want you to be fighters as well. So, as usual, YouTube is going to keep this information. Out of 47,000 people, there are 6 people watching. So to the 6 of you watching, I thank you. And the 7 people that gave the thumbs up, it means a lot. And I really appreciate each and every one of you. So I just wanted to send a message of positivity that even when things can be down, I mean, to give a little background of my story, we were losing our house in New York, had to find a place, had no money. Now, this was basically around February of last year. Didn't know where we were moving, didn't know what we were going to do. Because I had, at the time, maybe $300 in my bank account because I lost all my DJ jobs. Everything was going to heck and back. Well, after searching, I not only found a place in Florida, I found a place that I could end up within reason. I ended up selling a lot of my comics, which ended up giving me the money not only to buy this house that we're currently living in cash, but enough for the $7,000, $8,000 it cost to move, and then all the other money that was to get us to live here, and all the transfers of fee, the car and all the other stuff, both cars and everything else. I had to get myself some jobs here, and then I lost them because of this whole situation that's going on. Back in November, I was in the hospital for a breathing problem that they couldn't figure out what it was. I almost died. I actually was passing out on my bathroom floor, and for the first time in my life, even though I've almost died from walking pneumonia 7 to 10 times, I never had an ambulance come and get me. I always had the power to heal myself, but I was fading away in the bathroom, and here's the funny part. I was laying on the toilet, then I started slowly falling down to the ground, and I felt my breath getting less and less to the point where I just felt very calm. And I felt like everything's going to be okay. You're just going to close your eyes and that will be the end of it. And at the time, my wife was in the other room in the house, had no idea what was going on because she just thought I was in the bathroom. Meanwhile, I'm laying on the floor, basically dying because I had no breath left to give. And at that point, I couldn't scream for help. And I knew I didn't want to do that to my wife. I didn't want to do that to the cats, both inside and out. I couldn't go right now. But I couldn't scream for help. And what saved my life is, I don't know if you've been watching my channel, you remember my cat Shy. Well, Shy was outside the bathroom and for whatever reason started scratching on the door to try and get in. And it caught the attention of my wife to where she found me on the floor, basically dying. And I told her with my last breath to call an ambulance, and they had to carry me out and take me to the hospital where I stayed for 4 to 5 days. So I know what it's like to have everything be taken from you. I know what it's like to almost lose my life, and that's not the first time. And I'm still able to manage to be okay and to be able to help other animals and see the world still as hopeful and positive. And if I could reach anybody to think that if I can do it, because like I said, I literally had $300 in my name. I had no job because I lost my jobs. We were losing our home. We had no idea where we were going to go. And because of the fact that I collected comics, I was able to sell them, get enough money to move here. First of all, finding a place was a miracle. Getting here was, it took 3 days. That's a whole nother story of what happened with that. We lost one of our cats 3 days after we moved here because Luna passed away because she had heart problems, kidney and diseases and all this other stuff. And that's when I learned about the dry cat food and stuff, how dangerous it is for your animals. We had to learn the hard way, but I think she sacrificed her life to help others. But my point is that even when you think everything is crumbling down around you, that the only way it will affect you is if you stay there and let the debris fall on you. You have the ability to move. You have the ability to think and act and react. And you can choose to react negatively or positively. And despite all the challenges I've had, and that's just not even the tip of the iceberg of my entire life, I've still been able to help inspire people and not become some bitter, angry person that only cared about themselves because F the world. It's not going to help us get to a better place. So this video is dedicated to Sunshine, and I guess she knew her name, but we're going to do what we can, and we're not going to give up, and I want people to see that it doesn't matter how bad things are in the world. It doesn't mean it has to be bad for you unless you choose to do nothing. If I wouldn't have, well, if it wasn't for the cat, I wouldn't have survived. But if I didn't tell her to take me to the hospital and get an ambulance and just said I'll be fine and be stubborn, I wouldn't be here to make this video. And when I got there, they had to put me on a breathing tube. As a matter of fact, if you go to my other channel, We Love Comics, and go back to November of last year, I made a video of the night of me being in the hospital. So you can actually see the condition I was in, so you could see I'm not making up some story or over-dramatizing it. So if you go to my channel, We Love Comics, go to the video history, and go back to, I believe it was right around my birthday, so the beginning of November of last year, 2019, you'll see a hospital video. There are two of them. One when I started feeling a little bit better, and I did an unboxing video. It just shows I cared more about others than myself. But I took a video of me that night, and trust me, those 5 days were hell. And my wife was strong enough to come and visit me every day. And I was basically being tortured. I mean, for 5 days, I had no sleep because every 4 hours, literally, 24 hours a day, they had to come in and take a blood supply and give me some kind of breathing medication or whatever and check up on me. So even if I wanted sleep, every 4 hours, I had to get another needle in me to the point where my veins ruptured in both arms. And by the end, it was torture. So the point is, I know what it's like to hit rock bottom. I know what it's like to lose everything. And if I could still be positive and sharing and try and give for others, even though I am technically unemployed, when I moved from New York to Florida, I'm an independent contractor. So when this whole situation arose, I don't get the unemployment benefits. Now, I did get some government help, but I don't get that $600 a week that everybody else is getting because I technically have never been employed, especially in the state of Florida, because I was an independent contractor. But I'll always find a way, and you can always find a way. And hopefully that will inspire you, because I promise you, this cat's going to be okay. And we're going to be the reason for that. So don't give up. I know it's easy to do that, but you're guaranteeing failure. Like Michael Jordan once said, you miss 100% of the shots you never make. So it's better to give your all, and maybe it just ended up not happening, not meant to be, than to just give up. Because if we would have been like everybody else in this neighborhood, for whatever reasons, just left her outside, she would probably die in another couple of days. Probably a starvation or getting run over by a car or something. And it's because my wife and I care. We want to make sure we give her a fighting chance. Now, it may be something that we can't cure, or we just won't be able to afford. Because I can see her leg is shaking. So hopefully it's going to be something not bad. But we're giving her a fighting chance. And that's what you need in life. You know, if you give your best and it doesn't work, you can live with that. But if you don't do anything and you just sit around and say, I can't, one day you're going to look back and regret. So if it ends up that she has to be put down because it's something that we can't do anything about, you know what? At least we gave her time to be comfortable, loved, and not alone. And sometimes that's enough. So I want to thank you very much for listening. And like I said, if anybody can support, even like I said, just checking out my website, the link is in the description. If you're interested in buying any of the Orgone pyramids, I also make organic soaps and things like that. That would definitely help support it. So thank you very much, everybody. Of course, I'll keep you guys posted as I learn the situation. But she's gonna relax now, and I'm gonna be here with her. So thanks for taking the time to listen. I really appreciate it. And just never give up. Because then, what was the purpose of you being here? Sometimes we have to take a step forward to propel towards the sky and move forward. So right now, this whole world is being pulled back. So don't see it as a bad thing. See it as that bow being pulled to its extreme. And when we get past it, we're going to fly forward like we've never seen. Good things are going to come out of this. Wait and see. But that depends on the people. If you want to give up, like I could have in that bathroom, I would have died that night. And I would not be here to try and even save her life or even get her to the point where she was fed every day. So you never know what impact you have in your life until you decide to not have a life anymore. So if you haven't given up by now, even if everything in your brain and heart says you just want to give up and end it all, there's a reason why you didn't. And I hope you won't. Because you're here to do something. And sometimes you need to hear it to get you motivated. But it doesn't matter what anybody else does or says. You ultimately make the choice of where your destiny and where your road lies. So I hope this will inspire the 8 people out of the 47,000 people that are subscribed to my channel. They may block this and ghost ban it and make it very, very, very difficult for any message to get through, but the message is getting through. And Valhalla, if you want to believe that's the purpose, you have that right. I 100% disagree with you, but that's the beautiful thing about free will. You have the right to believe or disbelieve anything you want, but I am not going to agree with what you just said. But you have the right to believe it. But here's the thing. Whatever you believe in your heart to be true will be. So my suggestion would be you might want to try and believe in something more positive and give that a try. But if you want to sit there and be negative, by all means, please do. But that is a reminder to me that I'm glad that I'm not you. And on that note, I want to thank everybody for listening. Thumb it up if you can. Check out the description for any of the links if you're interested, and I'll keep you guys posted. So you have a great day, and you could be like that person and be negative and be looking at everything as the world is miserable and unkind, or you can actually make the world a better place and do the best that you can. That's up to you. So have a great day.